Give me a B. Give me an O. Give me an R. Give me an I. Give me an N. Give me a G. What's that spell? Good morning? No, that spells boring. Never be boring when it comes to Networking Mastery 101. Never be boring when it comes to your introductions at your networking events. Never be boring when it comes to sharing some information about your company. Never be boring when it comes to attending a meeting and looking at your phone while somebody else is speaking. Never be boring. Period. What am I talking about? You know those people that are attending networking meetings and doing all the things that we just mentioned. Well, hey, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, for instance, let me just share with you some recent testimonials. These are testimonials from the past couple of years and actually some from the last 6 to 10 months. So, well, Edith Urist, my late grandmother, she's going to probably always say something great. No, that's not true. You know, some relatives, some family are going to tell it like it is. And what would Grandma Edie say? Sarah and Paul are a lovely couple, a very lovely couple. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But then there's Kush. He says he loves the positive energy. And, well, what does Sherry Ward say? She loves my enthusiasm. And Bruce Lassner, I got to tell you, Bruce, I thank you so much for getting to know you over the last couple of years and networking here at the Beachside Cafe. He likes my wit and humor. Suzanne Barrett, what'd she say? Outstanding. And Sarah, my wife, okay, she says she loves my meeting variety. And of course, if you come to a meeting, she'll tell it like it is. And of course, we've had another guest here, Stacy Stockman. She came to several of our events. She said it was very welcoming. Why was it welcoming? Well, we did have an organized event. That's what Dennis Paul said. He loves our organized events. So when your events are organized, that's when the magic happens. But what could you do? I'll give you 4 tips on how you could never be boring in your networking events. This is the person that's running your events, the MC of your events, the Toastmaster of the day, the Toastmaster of the evening. The person running your events should do these 4 things. Number 1, eye contact. Now, I don't care if you're having a 2-dimensional meeting or a 3-dimensional meeting. If you don't have eye contact, you're blowing it. All right, you think that you have eye contact because you see your eyes looking at the screen. You think everybody else can see your eyes looking at the screen? Maybe. It depends on where your camera's located, I suppose. But where's your camera most likely? It's sitting there on the top of your monitor, right? And you're looking at your screen. You're probably not even paying attention to where your eyes are going. You're just talking. Well, you all know those people that actually are on a Zoom call, a virtual call, whatever platform you're using, and they got their chin hanging down below the square box where you're supposed to be. They're not in the camera frame. And they're just talking everywhere, and you can barely see their mouth, and their chin's down below the square box. And all you see is the person's half of his nose and maybe his eyes. That's probably not a good way to get the eye contact because your eyes and your whole face is not even centrally located in a square box. How hard is it to put yourself in a square box? And who here wants to actually put yourself in a square box? So let's just start with the eye contact. There's your camera. There it is. Okay, the funny thing is, I'm not even using video for this, but you see my eyes looking right at you. That's what you should look like when you're looking at the camera. Right at the person. Right at the person. Pretty simple. So eye contact is so important. Now, did you know that eye contact is part of body language? Body language. The world-renowned public speaking organization in the entire world that actually teaches people public speaking in over 149 countries is called Toastmasters International. It beats every organization out there on the planet, not just for how much it's been around over 100 years, but literally it's been teaching hundreds and thousands of people about public speaking. 55% of all communication is body language, and eye contact is one of those elements. All right, let's jump on. There's other percentages. I'm sure you're curious. Okay, I'll tell you. That's a little bonus for today's meeting. The bonus is that 38% is the tone of voice, how you make people feel, your vocal variety, if you're talking too fast, could be parts of those elements. For how you the tone of voice. The tone of voice could be the pace as well. And then like 7% is the content of your message, which means who cares if you're talking about underwater basket weaving. If you're not having eye contact, you're underwater, nobody can see you, nobody can hear you, and you're the blowing bubbles, your whole message is verklempt. Okay. Number two. Number two after eye contact is you need to drink decaf coffee. If you drink decaffeinated coffee, you will have a little bit more energy. Did you know this? Oh, what did he just say? Yeah, he just said decaf coffee. All right. It's a little humor. Is it too early in the morning for you? Are you too serious? Are you overthinking this message? All right. Number three, jumping jacks. In the morning, how many of you do like maybe 3 jumping jacks? So many people do 10 jumping jacks. Maybe you should do them before your networking meetings. Why? Because you're sounding boring. Okay, these are just 3 tips, okay? You don't have to do them. Do what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Continue doing what you're doing. If it's working, great. If it's not, here's a couple of ideas. All right, I gave you 3 of them. Here's the last one I'm going to tell you. Be a guest of a Toastmasters club and be a Toastmaster for 20 times. What the heck's a Toastmaster? Well, when you get to Toastmasters, everything's going to sound Toastmasterly to you because it's at Toastmasters. So if you don't know what's going on, it's buzzwords, it's jargon, it's the language, it's the culture. Just go several times. You'll find out what Toastmaster is of the day. Now, when you get to volunteer to be Toastmaster of the day or the Toastmaster of the evening or the afternoon, whatever time of day it is, do it for 20 times at 20 different meetings. That means you might be doing 20 different speeches, and then eventually you'll get the slot for Toastmaster because they usually don't want you to sign up for it all the time. Or some clubs, they love someone to sign up for Toastmaster because, well, it could be a lot of work. In the beginning, it could be a lot of work. And then maybe you'll actually start to learn the value of running meetings because the meetings at your company, your organization, your nonprofit, your business, your meetings suck. And if you don't want to have meetings that suck, you'll do these tips. Okay, pretty simple. All right, I think I actually exhausted my time and I gave you the 4 tips on how to never be boring. I'm Paul Finkelstein. This is actually video number 9. This video, if you're hearing this on YouTube or Skylar or Alignable or LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube or X, all of these platforms, if you're able to hear video number 9, it's because I was feeling a little generous today. Because it's supposed to be a paid video. There are 12 classes. And the first 5, I thought I'd give away for free. But if you like the mindset, you want to listen to me for about 2 to 5 minutes, maybe 10 at the most. It's about 9 almost now. And you like the mindset, let's chat with each other by you leaving a comment underneath one of my videos. But if you're able to see this, I was being generous. If you want the rest of them, come on over under the scrolling bar there. It tells us how to find me at omgbizcafe.com. That's omgbizcafe.com. Over there, just sign up for Early Birds and Entrepreneurs. Click on the blue button. It's absolutely for free. There's various different topics I started that you could carry on the conversation. I'll reply back to you. So there it is on the screen, omgbizcafe.com. It's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's free. I did say that. It's a business community helping many communities around the globe. It's worldwide. All of our guests get a free gift, the 5 videos on networking mastery. Because how many? It's a staggering number of adults that could use to up upgrade their business people skills. All right. Well, if you're listening to this in February of 2025 and you haven't heard this video for 100 years and it's 2125, I wonder how you're communicating. I'm just curious. All right. If you want to see me in person and you're not local to the Palm Beach County area, you could find me by going to our Beachside Cafe at omg121.com. That's OMG, the number one, the number two, the number one.com. That's OMG, the number one, number two, number one.com. OMG121.com. You got it. I said it. I think it was clear. I think I communicated good, but someone's going to mess it up. All right, so don't be boring. I'm Paul Finkelstein. I know that the subscribers have been coming right in. They're listening. I got 7 people listening here. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning and they're not sleeping. So if you like this, come visit me at omg121.com. I didn't tell you the day. Here it is. If you hung up already, you didn't hear this information. Here's the day. Monday and Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern or 9 o'clock Central or 7 o'clock Pacific. So I hope that encompasses everybody, and you could meet, and we'll have 4 parts of a meeting. You'll have some rapport building, some icebreakers, some 30-second intros, maybe a 60-second intro, maybe some Q&A in between the speakers. Do you want to speak? Come speak. You can talk for 30 seconds, 60 seconds. What more could he ask? So our first-time visitor, I have no idea who you are. You have no idea who we are. You might be a little bit reserved. So we assign 30 to 60 seconds for you. I guess you could say pass, but you're in business, right? And you want to get the word out. So learn how to talk for 30 seconds or 60 seconds. After the introductions, there's some feedback, what you like about the meeting, what you learned about the meeting. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Let's hear what you learned, because maybe you learned something different than what I learned from all the speakers involved, not just myself. So I'm learning as well. And then the 4th element is a breakout session for 1-to-1s. That's why we call it OMG 1-to-1, is the breakout session where you get to meet one-on-one in that 1-hour meeting. All right. I'm Paul Finkelstein at the Mindset of Networking Mastery 101. I hope you have a fantastic day. And remember, what's the topic for today? Video number 9, never be boring.